Hi friends, welcome back to another video of Sophia Edu Support. This is the fourth and the last part of chapter 1, India, the relief features. In the previous parts, we were talking about the introduction and the formation of the Indian landmass and different relief features like Himalayas, the Indo-Gangetic Plain, and the peninsular plateau. In this part, we are going to discuss about the coastal plain, the desert and the islands. And let us start with the desert. The fourth major relief division is the desert. We know what is a desert. In our country, we have a famous desert called the Thar Desert. We are going to look about the Thar Desert in this section. Where is the location of Thar Desert? It is in the state of Rajasthan. And when we tell topographically about the location, it is located on the leeward side of Aravalli mountain ranges. So maybe you may remember what is the leeward side. You have studied in 9th class. Okay. Since it is on the leeward side of the mountain ranges of Aravalli, it gets very less amount of rainfall. Annually in Thar Desert, it receives about 100 to 150 millimeter rain. That is a maximum rain. 150 millimeter is the maximum rain available in the Thar Desert every year. And the land feature of this desert, in some areas are consist of sand and other areas are having rocks. So mostly the sand is having an undulating plane in some ups and downs on the surface, and also in some areas having the rocky outcrops. And around most of the western Rajasthan is occupied by the Thar Desert. And the climate of this desert is a kind of arid climate, having very less vegetation cover on this region. And the streams or the water flows, the streams appears only during the rainy season, and once the rain over, soon it disappears because of the hot climate over this region. So in Thar Desert, we have only one river called Luni. Luni is only one river in this region, and this river also origins during the rainy season and forms a lake, and afterwards it dry or it is not reaching into any sea. The river Luni is not joining to any sea, and it forms a lake in the desert itself, and afterwards it dries up. Okay. In Thar Desert, don't think that all the areas of Thar Desert is dry and nothing as of today. Now the situation has changed. After the independence, the government have made many effort to fertilize or make use of some part of this desert for the agriculture. So in India, we have one of the irrigation system called the Indira Gandhi Canal, which is the longest canal in our country, consists around 650 kilometers. And this canal, the Indira Gandhi Canal, which is watering the part of Thar Desert and bringing it suitable for cultivation. The Indira Gandhi Canal, which is the longest canal in India, consists of 650 kilometers in its length and watering part of the Thar Desert and bringing the desert useful for agriculture. The fifth major relief division is the coastal plain. So what do you mean by coastal? Coastal means seashore, beach, or a land near the sea, bordered with sea. Okay, that area is known as the coastal. So we have two coastal plains. As we have discussed before, we have two mountain ranges, that is the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. This is another important, very important part. You have to very much careful about this. So you also may get a question regarding the differences between the Western coastal plain and the Eastern coastal plain. Okay, so as I said, in one side we have the Western coastal plain alongside of the Western Ghats, and in other side we have the Eastern coastal plain alongside the Eastern Ghats. Okay, so in the western side it is bordered with the Arabian Sea. The coastal plain is bordered with the Arabian Sea, and the eastern side it is bordered with the Bay of Bengal. And the western coastal plain is starting from the Rann of Kutch and ends in Kanyakumari. The western coastal plain, that is the Western Ghat towards the west side, or running through the Arabian Sea. Okay, that is starting from the Rann of Kutch and ending at Kanyakumari. And the comparison, it begins when we compare the Western coastal plain and the Eastern coastal plain. The Western coastal plain is narrower. It is narrow, not much broad than the Eastern coastal plain. And this plain is uneven. It is not continuous. We said the Western Ghats is continuous, but the Western coastal plain is not continuous, not even. It is uneven. It is broken by hilly terrains in many places, and also it is divided in many places, and this region can be divided into three parts. The Western coastal plain can be divided into three parts, like the Konkan coast, and second is the Canara coast, and third is the Malabar coast. Very much careful. We have three divisions of the Western coastal plain. So the first one is the Konkan coast, the second is the Canara coast, third is the Malabar coast. Okay, the Konkan coast, this is the northern part of the Western coastal plain, and it touches Maharashtra and Goa. The coastal plain of Maharashtra and Goa is the northern part, which is known as the Konkan coast. Second is the Canara coast. This is the middle part. It touches the coastal plain of Karnataka. In Karnataka, the coastal plain is known as the Canara coast. And third is the Malabar coast. This is the southernmost part. Southern, middle, northern. The northern part is known as the northern part is known as the Konkan coast. It touches Maharashtra and Goa. The second is the Canara coast. This is the middle part. It includes the coastal plain of Karnataka. And the third is the Malabar coast. That is the southern part. It is in the state of Kerala. That is the Western coastal plain. Okay. Okay, now let us look about the Eastern coastal plain. Eastern coastal plain, or the Bay of Bengal plains, which is wide and have a large surface structure. It stretches from the Mahanadi in Odisha to the Kaveri deltas in Tamil Nadu. The Eastern coastal plain is formed by different rivers. River Mahanadi, River Godavari, River Krishna, and River Kaveri. And these regions are forming a deltas as the rivers joins in the sea, the Bay of Bengal. it forms a delta, or it creates a delta region, and these delta regions are very much fertile for agriculture. And this coastal plain also known locally by different names, as we have seen the different names of western coastal plain. The eastern coastal plain also called differently in different regions. In Odisha, this coastal plain is known as Utkal Coast. Utkal Coast in Odisha. And in Andhra Pradesh, the eastern coastal plain is called as Sirkar Coast. Sirkar Coast in Andhra Pradesh. And in Tamil Nadu, the eastern coastal plain is called as the Coromandel Coast, or the Coromandel Coast in Tamil Nadu. So these were the three different names of the eastern coastal plain locally. Okay, so like the Indo-Gangetic plains, these deltas also very much developed agriculturally. So we said the Indo-Gangetic plain having very good development of agriculture. The same in this delta, in the eastern coastal plain, the deltas created by different rivers like the river Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri, and these delta regions are very much developed in agriculture. And since it is a coastal zone, along with agriculture, the fishing research is also much developed. And another feature of the eastern coastal plain is having different lakes in this plain. So the lakes like Chilka Lakes in Odisha and Kolleru and Pulicat Lake in Andhra Pradesh are some of the other important features of the eastern coastal plain. So the eastern coastal plain having different lakes. The Chilka Lake in Odisha, Kolleru and Pulicat Lake in Andhra Pradesh are the other important features of the eastern coastal plain. The sixth and the last major relief division is the island. How do we need to pronounce island, island or Iceland? Yeah, sometimes I heard many people pronouncing it as Iceland. It's not Iceland, it is island. Okay, so the island is the last of the relief features in India. So we have two groups of island in our country. That is the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. It is in the Bay of Bengal, and Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea. So two groups of islands, Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal and the Lakshadweep in the Arabian Sea. The Andaman and Nicobar Island is an elevated portion of submerged mountain. It's not just only an island, it is not a single mountain, but it is the elevated portion of a mountain range. The mountain range starts from Myanmar. The mountain range is known as the Arkan Yoma. The Arkan Yoma mountain ranges starting from Myanmar. It continues under the sea and it erupts, or the erupted place, it's known as the Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, in Andaman and Nicobar Island, some islands like the Narkodam and Barren Islands, these are origin due to volcanic eruption. It's not the part of the Arkan Yoma mountain, but Arkan Yoma mountain ranges, but it is origined. The Narkodam and Barren Islands are origin due to volcanic eruption. The southernmost tip of India is in the Andaman and Nicobar Island. It is known as the Indira Point, and this place is submerged underwater during the 2004 tsunami. And Lakshadweep Islands are of coral origin. Its total geographic area is 32 square kilometers. And this group of islands is famous for great variety of flora and fauna. As coming to the end of this lesson, in India, we have different types of landform or vast diversity of landform, and different types of people lives in this country. In some lands are irrigated by mighty rivers and other rivers flowing from Himalayas, and some are rain-fed areas. The places like the Western Ghats, the region near to the Western Ghats, are mainly rain-fed areas. And also we have the forests in the Western Ghats, also a rain-fed area. And many places are located in the river valley and others in the mountains. In our country, some places are located in the river valleys and others are located in the mountain. That means we have the population both in the river valleys and also in the mountainous regions. The different types of relief features helps the people to grow different types of agricultural crops and food crops in different regions. So now our first lesson is over. Thank you very much. If these videos are good and supportive for your studies and helping you to understand, please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that whenever I uploaded the video, it will give you a notification. Thank you very much. Hope we will see with the next lesson.